Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us tremendous examples of exemplary women in history. What better example can I give you than the wife of the greatest enemy of God? Who was he? Pharaoh. Who was she? Asiah, the wife of the Pharaoh. Naam. The Prophet ﷺ said 4 women completed the Iman. Who were they? Asiah. Who else? Maryam. Who else? Fatima. And Khadijah radiallahu anhum. These 4 women completed the Iman. Perfected the Iman. Completely perfected the Iman. Meaning, they totally believed in Allah and perfected the belief in Allah with their tongues, with their hearts and with their limbs. The actions were perfect. Their hearts and the actions of the heart was perfect. And their statement of the tongue was perfect. And it is for this reason why they had completed it. Who were these 4 women? Well, we spoke about Maryam. What about Asiah radiallahu anha? She was the wife of a tyrant. So next time, when one of you thinks that your husband is so bad, or your husband, doesn't pray, or husband is not as practicing as you are perhaps, don't think that you are going to be doomed. Take it easy. Take one step back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed that the wife of Pharaoh could have perfected her Iman. So you too can perfect your Iman too. You too can excel. You too can be saved. And you too can be a very, very righteous person just like she was. What did she do, by the way? She saved the Prophet of God. Did she not? Musa alayhi salam, and she was a stepmom for Musa alayhi salam. And of course that ended up being a great mercy for all of mankind, because Musa saved the children of Israel from the naughty Pharaoh. Also take the example of Khadijah radiallahu anha. In the most deepest and the darkest times of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this woman was his beloved. This woman was his soulmate. This woman was it for him. Subhanallah. He married her and she was patient. He went to the cave of Hira for 6 months or 8 months, only to come back to just get some food and then go up again. And she was patient. He struggled to spread the religion, would be out of the home, not have enough money to bring back home for food. She would be patient. And yet on the day when he came back from the cave of Hira thinking that he had gone mad, it was she. It was Khadijah radiallahu anha who said, Kalla, no, Allah will never disgrace you. La yukhzik Allah. Allah will never disgrace you. It was she who did it. Do you know the effect of the actions of Khadijah on this man Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Let me demonstrate how deeply and madly this man was in love with this woman due to her actions. In one authentic narration in Bukhari, it's narrated that the Prophet ﷺ was asleep. And this was in Medina, when he was asleep, and he was in the hut of Aisha radiallahu anha, asleep at that time. Suddenly, a woman knocked on the door and said, Assalamu alaikum. Said what? Assalamu alaikum. Suddenly, the Prophet woke up in complete shock and bewilderment. Imagine waking up like you're asleep. He had just heard a sound that sounded like Khadijah. Why? Because that was Hala, the sister of Khadijah, whose voice resembled the voice of Khadijah. Subhanallah. So Rasulullah had just heard the voice of Khadijah again. And he could not forget that voice. Of all voices, the one that he could never ever make him forget was the voice of his soulmate, Khadijah radiallahu anha. Because he could recognize that. He could recognize that forever, and he would never ever forget it. So what did he say? Listen to what he said. Oh Allah, ij'alha hala, ya Allah, ij'alha hala. Said what? Oh Allah, don't torture me. Make this the voice of Hala, Ya Rabb. Make this Hala, not Khadijah. Don't make me hear voices, Ya Allah. Make this the voice of Hala. Amazing. Amazing. We look for love in the worst of places. in the darkest and the coldest and the ugliest and the deepest part of the night, wrong places. This is love. A love when a man is still in love with a woman many years after she has passed away. Many years after even her family has forgotten about her. This is what you call love. So at that point, Aisha radiallahu anha saw the expression of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what do you think she said? She said, Ya Rasulullah, O Prophet of God, what do you want with a woman who has passed away and her bones have dried up and she's become dust? La ilaha illallah. One thing you can't get rid of is jealousy. Right? What do you want with a woman who's passed away, bones become dry and become dust? What do you want with her? And then she said, whilst Allah has given you something better than her. Who's she talking about? Right, she's talking about herself, mashallah, so articulate. So what did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no, wallahi, Allah has not given me better than her. Inna Allah razaqani hubbaha. Indeed, Allah has blessed me with her love.